All right. It's been a while since I've been on StreamYard. We're going to try this one more time because usually I'm streaming on my phone. So hopefully we live. Hopefully we are live. Welcome aboard again to the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it says, okay. So we good. Welcome aboard. Welcome to We-On-Loc Nation channel. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you for the subs. Thank you for the subscriptions. Thank you for everything. None of this will be possible without you. And hopefully I'm not too long-winded because like I said, this is a celebration. This is a celebration for me hitting damn near almost 13K, which I'm not gonna brag on because this wasn't even remotely a dream. Now it is a dream. You know, it due to some influencers. Hopefully they'll show up a little bit later on tonight because this would not be possible without them. It would not be possible without the influences of the people who encourage me to stay on YouTube. Hello, brother. How you been doing tonight? I'm doing great. How about you, sir? It's been a while. Oh, hey, how's it going, Miracle? How's it going? Now that I think on it, now that I think on it, I think you was the Umar hater. Now I recognize it. This is not an Umar stream. This is something important. As a matter of fact, let me get on to it. Hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And support Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate. Just go to change.org. Go to change.org/swear-in Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate. Now, tomorrow is the deadline, according to her. I'm doing great in the presence of the Lord. Amen to that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. We are good with that. But like I said, tomorrow's the deadline. She's supposed to be making her decision tomorrow. Sorry about that. She will be streaming on all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, IG. Of course, I'll get the notifications and everything when she comes on. And at that point, I will start streaming. And hopefully, all of our hard work will have paid off because right now hey, Lisa. All right, recap, please. No, I just came on. You're right on time. You're right on time. But right now we are at, I can do this on my phone for you. I can definitely do this on my phone. Give me a minute and I will show you. Other people have been, I just took a long nap. Okay, we are at, so far we are at You can see 431. 431. I was hoping there would be more, but um started off late, so that's part of that's on me. We started off late, and well, we're here. We're here. So hopefully she makes her decision tomorrow, and she's either going to return back to her seat as Congress lady or become a U.S. senator. And mind you, becoming a U.S. senator, you have a lot more responsibilities, but yet the same pay. So we will see. We will definitely see. But Milady is here tonight. Hopefully, other ladies stop by. But meantime, in between time, we're gonna kick something else off. As we are in this live stream, we're going to talk about how women in this society are being treated, how they are being treated. Oh no. Oh no, we'll get back to that later. Oh no. We'll get back to that later. We will get back to that later. My two favorite ladies are here. All we need is one more. All we need is one more. That's all we need. Oh, this is looking great already. Oh, let me tighten up. My two favorite ladies are here. Yay. Oh, Mahogany Roots is in the building. What up, Eric? Oh my goodness. But where was I? Lady, I'm glad you're here. Okay, tighten up. Okay, the reason why I summoned you and I summoned Lisa and I summoned Barb was because I wanted to give all three of you, the biggest, juiciest hugs ever. And big, juicy kisses. Just line them up. Without you guys, this would not be possible. I was on my way out the door. I was like, Benito, bye-bye. But apparently a person who will be named nameless, wink, wink, she's already in here. Well, she told me, well, why don't you stay and do something a little bit different? So I said, what is it that you would like for me to do different? And don't mind that back there. Don't mind it. You don't even have to put it in the comment section. I already know what it is. It's your smoke alarm. Your smoke alarm's going off. Hell, a new place and the smoke alarm's already going off. Ain't that about a bitch? But anyway, apparently everybody knows I've been doing Umar content. And everybody knows that, I mean, that's my guy, that's my boy and everything. So far, right now, update, he's doing well, he's doing great. He won his day in court. What can I say? Not gonna get in too much of that, but my boy's doing good. Other than that, like I said, reminding y'all one more time to go to change.org/swear in Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate, because she's going to be making her decision tomorrow. What did you say? I just asked, what if he's not who you think he is? Who you think he is? I don't know what the heck that means, People are trying to get me to sway the other way, but not on that right now. Not too much on it right now. I'm trying to get this woman to, make her decision tomorrow, and possibly maybe in the next 3 years, hopefully she becomes president of the United States, because right now, this president is really getting on people's nerves. We all know who that president is, racial son of a bitch. He doesn't know how to treat individuals. He doesn't know how to treat boys, and especially he does not know how to treat females. He does not know how to treat females. You see him all the time with immigrant women, and everybody knows that. He loves bringing immigrant women over here, but he wants to kick immigrants out the country. Make that make sense. You're kicking immigrants out the country and bringing other immigrants in. This is not something that's hard, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that's simple. We already know what the deal is. He wants to make America white. Who does not know that concept? Again, why would you bring in people why would you kick out somebody who is black and brown but want to bring in white? Just like the South Africans, the white South Africans. I still debunk that. I still debunk that shit to this very day. But then again, they are our children. They are our children. Where was I at? And like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to come up and entertain. And let's entertain ourselves for a little bit while we still have time. I already put the link in the box. Where was I? I was going to talk about how the other day, how women every day, all day, black women every day, all day, get treated like trash. Especially what happened, or what I've heard, and I've wanted to do a live stream about this. The woman in North Texas. Now, every bit of news story breaks out in Texas all the freaking time. And it's not just a Carmelo Anthony situation, but it was, in other situations have to involve a gun or a knife. But in this situation happens to be two black women who were in their pregnant stages, about to give birth, but couldn't get any care at all. I don't know if anyone had saw this story before, but apparently there was a woman who was screaming at the top of her lungs. But that wasn't the horrifying part. The horrifying part was the nurses that were there did not give a damn. Forgive me, it's a while since I've been on StreamYard. Oh.
Story of a black mom in Texas whose family says her pain was dismissed by hospital staff while she was in labor. Now that hospital tells NBC News that a staffer has been fired. Kiara Jones, video hospital staffer, recites intake questions.
Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the Black ones?
The family alleges hospital staff delayed Jones's care for more than half an hour. Jones's mother posted this video on social media.
So we push her into the door. I said, can we get her into labor and delivery? She said, no, we have to fill out all this paperwork.
In a statement, adding the individual shown in the video did not reflect our values or uphold our standards and is no longer employed with the hospital. They added, we take the actions seen in the video seriously. We have initiated training in recognizing the signs of imminent delivery, empathy, and compassionate care, as well as bias training for our staff and caregivers. An attorney for the mother and family tells NBC News they have not yet heard directly from the hospital.
That was the most pitifulest thing I've ever seen. When I first seen it, I said to myself, Black women are in danger. It's bad enough you can't get, and this is not to all the brothers, but it's bad enough you can't get any type of protection from the brothers, but it's another thing to not get any type of care or any type of treatment from nurses. And even the nurse in the back that you didn't hear or you couldn't see, she also implemented that, she had the lady that was in the chair, this was her third time being pregnant. And she had, gotten pregnant by a third person. Like, what business of that is yours? Your job is not to analyze a woman's family or personal stuff. Your job is supposed to care for, quote unquote, your patients. Have we gotten that far gone? Have we gotten so far gone that, I don't know, that we have to act this damn evil? So, and then there's another situation, the same thing, only at this time, this lady gave birth in her car. In her car, of all places.
Recently, a doctor has been fired after forcing a Black woman to give birth in her car.
My daughter's in active labor, and this is a principal. This in Crown Point being put out in active labor. My daughter is being kicked out of this hospital because she.
Who's pushing her out the door?
Mark.
They pushed this lady dead ass out the door. For what, we don't know what reason, what there was a reason why, nothing. So we digged So I guess he dig deeper to it. Let's listen to what he has to say.
In an update, a doctor and nurse at an Indiana hospital who allegedly turned away Miss Mercedes Wells in active labor are no longer employees of that hospital. Hospital officials confirmed this on Friday. Mercedes Wells says she walked into the hospital in Crown Point just after midnight on Sunday, clearly feeling the onset of labor. But instead of receiving care, she says she was sent home hours later, dismissed by nurses who told her she, quote, wasn't progressing and should only return if things worsen. Minutes after leaving, things worsened. According to the videos posted by her husband, Mr. Leon Wells, the couple barely made it down the road before Mercedes gave birth in the front seat of their truck. Who do you think delivered the baby? The husband had to deliver the child. No training.
I don't want to hear not a thing about men not doing their jobs. I don't want to hear it. That's what a brother's supposed to do. Just raise up your sleeves and let's get to work. You do the pushing, I do the catching. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. So I do not want to hear that brothers are not doing their job, because apparently in this situation they are. I mean, there's some bad ones, there's some misguided ones, but with this one, this gives much kudos.
No expertise, no professional courses, but delivered the child out of necessity and due to neglect.
All you need is hot water. I don't know why you need hot water. Hot water, a couple of towels, raise the legs, do the proper breathing, and then push for every trimester, I think. Yeah, listen, I never had to deliver any out my car. Okay, and I'm the one to put the booties in the gear on. Okay, and I was in the back while she was giving birth. All right, sue me.
I would argue criminal neglect of the hospital. There's more. The hospital, now facing mounting scrutiny, issued a brief statement insisting that, quote, the health and safety of our patients is always our top priority, end quote, and confirming that an internal investigation is underway. Citing privacy laws, the facility declined to answer any questions about why Wells was discharged or what staff assessed that night. Quote, the physician and the nurse directly involved in Mrs. Wells' care are no longer employed by the hospital. This is according to the president and CEO, Raymond Grady, told people in the statement. Meanwhile, we have another situation, if you remember. We have not been able to independently confirm any disciplinary action against the nurse at Dallas Regional Medical Homes, according to the CDC. I want to remind you of the rates. According to the CDC, the maternal mortality rate for Black women per 100,000 live births, compared to white women at 14.5, Hispanic women 12.4, Asian women 10.7. The maternal mortality rate that year for Black
But yet, Black women have the most maternity rates of abortion in world history. They abort their children more than white women abort their children. How? When you have stats like this, and not to mention there's loss of pregnancy, that doesn't get counted. Rape, that doesn't get counted either. But women just up and get busted, get a nut busted in them, and then 9 months later the baby's born, and they're just aborting babies. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I just think some men just need to I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I am a total at a loss of words. How women are being treated, Black women specifically, how they're being treated in a world like this, and especially on the internet. In the 6 years span, probably more than 6 years, but let's just do 7. In a 7-year span, if you're not married at this point, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're probably not going to get married at this point. You're probably not going to get married because as soon as you get married, you end up getting divorced, or you'll meet somebody like, for example, I hate bringing her up, Cardi B. She got pregnant with her, I think this is her 4th child with Stephen Diggs. She's not with Offset anymore, but she's with Stephen Diggs. And she's touring while he has to take care of the children. Now, they're still together. Let's just hope for the best. I lean a little bit more towards Russell Wilson and Ciara. I lean a little bit more towards them because they practice nutrition. Where am I going with this? Just be careful. And I want to share a story with you. Real small story. Fatty wanted me to come on his live stream the other day. He kept DMing me. He presented me the thumbnail and everything. I kind of declined it at first because I had stuff to do, but then he sent it to me again, and I thought about it, and I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't be a part of the chaotic nonsense. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fatty's funny. He's entertaining. But my 3rd favorite. She's in here. Hey, Barb. But apparently, I said no. I kind of said no in my head because going to his live, I think it was the night after, there was just, again, it was just, I didn't want to, no, I don't want to be a part of that crowd. No. I mean, he had Saint the Sinner up there. He had Philosophical. That's my boy, Philosophical. Shouts out to Philosophical. And then he had some loon. I don't know what his name is. Some guy that apparently he has a problem with Black women because he's with a white woman, I guess. I don't know. But he wanted me to go up there. because he saw the I forgot what the brother's name, but there was another Pacific brother that was up on there, and somehow he wanted me up there. And he thought I was scared. I said, no, it ain't about being scared. It's about being smart. And the smartest thing for me is to stay away from all that nonsense. I'm not a part of your I'm not a part of all that you got going on over there. I mean, I respect it. You getting your paper and you getting your views. I got my views because of these three ladies and a guy, which Nino, shouts out to Nino. But these three women helped me get to where I am. And if it wasn't for these three women, I would have been out the door anyway. And I still would have had 2,000 subscribers, which I was happy with. I was happy with 2,000. But then I like I said, there's a certain woman in here. She kept saying, well, do this and do this. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. Who do you think was the first person to say, oh, well, do this and you'll get a little bit more subscribers? I said, okay, I'll try this. And another person said, well, do a little bit of this, get into it, read into it. And she keeps sending me stuff. And I said, what the hell? Let me try this and let me try that, right? And then there was another person that said, you're doing too much of this and you're doing too much of that. Try this. Now, out of the order that I just went on that soliloquy, who was number one, who was number two, and who was number three? Who was number one, who was number two, and who was number three? All lined up in that order. Want me to give you a hint? I'll give you a hint. The first person has long, beautiful, lovely looking dread. Damn, you quick. Damn, you're quick. Damn, all in that order. Boom, there we go. All up in that order. Yep, that is correct. So I'm like, all right. So I tried it, and the next thing I know, I look up, and in a couple of months, has it been a couple of months? I think it's been a couple of months, but we'll get into that. We'll get into it. Okay, now I'm on mute. Can you hear me now? This is one of the reasons why I hate. Okay. Can you hear me now? All right, cool. This is one of the reasons why I hate live streams. But then again, I gotta get a new mic anyway. Gotta get a new mic. I like it when I stream live on my phone. I really do. It works wonders for me. But going into what does Crockett got to say about that situation? I already marked and queued it. Let's see what she says about this situation.
As it relates to SNAP benefits. So there are going to be more people that are out in the cold as it relates to SNAP benefits in general because of what they did in the big ugly bill. So yeah, I think talking about everyday things like food, I think that that's really kind of an easy win no matter where you are. Yeah.
I have to say, she looks fucking good. I don't care what anybody says. She looks fucking good.
Let's see. Rachel says, we've seen 2 women run into issues with gaining admittance into hospitals, while in labor in recent weeks, including one Black woman in North Texas. What can Congress do to ensure reproductive health care is protected? Well, I can tell you they could start by actually acknowledging that there's a problem. And frankly, they don't. They don't acknowledge their role in this problem. They don't want to talk about disparities as it relates to how certain women are treated. We know the numbers as it relates to the maternal mortality rates of Black women. Black women are 3 times more likely to die attempting to bring life into this world. Simply, I guess, because they are Black. The biases have been documented. And, the fact that we are seeing this, we saw these episodes, right, play out on camera where literally these women are in pain. Now, I don't know what they thought was going on. Like, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. As someone who's done criminal defense work, I've had people, I will say this. I've had people that show up to hospitals. They know how to get certain drugs. Okay. That's not what this is though. Like, you're talking about 2 women that are clearly pregnant. And we're talking about, I believe at least, I don't know if one or both of them were turned away without even being examined.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Me personally, I have to say, when it comes to Brother Umar, he's right on the money about at least this one part where he says you have to build your communities, and your communities include hospitals. You don't have hospitals of your own. You don't have hospitals where it's at least, I would say, 90% Black. Nurses, doctors, UKG techs, lobotomists, people like that. You're not going to see them, possibly maybe in Atlanta, maybe. But other than that, you're not going to see nowhere near 90%, because most of your doctors and lawyers are either coming from other countries or white. And you're starting to see more and more doctors come from other countries, like from India, Australia, Venezuela, which that Venezuela garbage, I don't know how to feel about that, because each and every single time, I'm starting to see why white people are upset. And I'm going to explain why in a minute. But when it comes to this, Dr. Umar was right. But yet, he's the bad guy. So, it is what it is. Any Black man would tell you but he would be a grifter. He would be this. He would be that. You said say it. Okay. White folks, again, this is not a monolith. We all know what the hell it is. They want everything to be pure white. And again, it starts with, let me get rid of this real quick. It starts with the face. It starts with the face. They found an actual face. They couldn't do this with George Bush. They couldn't do this with George Bush. They couldn't do this with Mitt Romney. Possibly, maybe, who knows. But they could do this with Donald Trump because Donald Trump is stupid. Donald Trump doesn't know anything about politics. He didn't know anything about politics in 2016. But yet they voted him in because they wanted to get their country back. Can we be honest here for a second? Why do you think it's so cool now to get great? Why do you think it's so cool now? People don't give a shit. People don't give a shit anymore. If the Eugene Carroll case wasn't enough to tell you that I don't know, because I read in a little bit about Eugene Carroll. And it's not just her, it's other people that were involved in either the same situation or different. And then there are manipulators. What's the N word that I'm looking for? It's an N word. What is the N word that I'm looking for? I'll think of it in a minute. But these get these people to, you do what I say because I am so powerful. I'm this millionaire, billionaire, or whatever. And if you try to embarrass me, I'm going to make sure that your life is never the same again. And what did Donald Trump do? He manipulated not one, not two, not three, not four, but back then people now to this very day don't know anything about no damn Trump. We do. Us Gen Xers do. Us baby boomers do, and beyond. We know who Donald Trump is and was and will forever will be a scumbag. But he's the so-called president of the United States because not because of his influence, because he's the worst president ever. His numbers came in, and President Nixon, who is number one, like the number one worst president of the United States, he's in his grave. He's rolling in his grave right now. Like, are you serious? Yes, it's Nixon, and then there's Trump. You know who's number one, not number one. You know who's like up there? Ronald Reagan. But then Nixon's at the bottom. Ronald Reagan was just known for making false promises. And then George Bush, he was somebody that pretty much nobody paid attention to, and that's why somebody threw a shoe at his ass. But but to continue, this is how it is. This is how it is, and until you start looking into your vote a little bit more, or looking into the person or persons, in other words, shop around. The next time you go to the polls, and I'm not talking about like national, like national voting. I'm talking about early voting. Vote who works best for you, what's in your best interests. Okay? I'm giving this woman a shot because of this, and this. I'm giving, say, I don't want to mention Bernie Sanders, so let's go to another one. Let's see. It's not Bernie Sanders. It's Cory Booker. If Cory Booker wanted to run again, then he would apply himself and he would be the tough son bitch that we would know and love Obama to be, right? We trusted in Obama. Look where it got us. Well, some of us anyway. But I hate talking politics with some of yous because I know how you feel about that man. And I'm not saying he wasn't a bad president. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is you have opportunity after opportunity to make sure that Black America was good, but instead you chose to go a different route with it. But it's kind of strange, right? How everything is being blamed. Everybody blames Joe Biden for the shit that he did. I don't remember Joe Biden having 34 felonies. Do you? I'm not vouching for the same. I don't remember felonies. I don't remember Joe Biden raping Dan Carroll. I don't remember Joe Biden saying grab a woman by the coochie and she'll do whatever she asks you to do. Like, what are we doing? But this is how it is now when you hear people like call into different shows now, because there are people who are doing what you call them call-ins, like Republicans call in, Trump supporters call in, like the Dean Withers situation. And people have lost their minds. People who have absolutely lost their freaking minds. If you hear these people, live debates, when you hear these people on a daily basis, and I'm not too much of a Dean Withers fan. I just like listening to him because each and every single time he comes up with facts, even though it's like the same, it's true. It's true. You can look this up yourself, right? And then Barb, your boy, the other day, he kind of like cracked under the pressure a little bit. He kind of cracked under the pressure. I don't blame him, but I've been like, I ain't gonna let these people pressure me. I ain't gonna let these people break me. No, not Dean, the other one, his partner. I don't let these people. I'm not gonna let any of these white folks pressure me. And then there's some people who call in, and Parker. There are people who call in and then act all stupid and shit, and just it's like, I don't know how you do it, but of course, I mean, you get subscribers and you get a lot of bank. And speaking of bank, go ahead and do donate to my coffee fund. If you can donate to my coffee fund, it'll be much appreciative. Just go ahead and just cash at me a buck, maybe two, whatever. It's not like I'm deep with it. People cash app him 5, 10. I don't even have VMore, whatever you call that shit. All I got is Cash App. I got Cash App, Chime, and I don't even think I have Venmo. Do I have Venmo? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. But Parker does get pressured a lot because he gets a whole bunch of idiotic redneck peckerwoods that call up on the show and they just act stupid. They're not really. And what's worse is white women get into the mix, and it gets funny to me. It just gets funny. It gets funny because you get Karens calling into the show as well. So, I mean, it is what it is. But Parker the other day, he broke down crying, like literally tears came out of his eyes, like. It was so bad that Dean had to step in and take over his string for a bit. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, I mean, you put yourself in that position and you know what's coming. It's like you keep getting hit with haymakers. What caused it? I think it was like a caller called in, and he was debating about the same issue with Dan Carroll, and I think it was Dan Carroll, and of course how her book after 20 some odd years later, they were looking through her book and she said it was cool to get raped or whatever. Parker debunked that, and you know how people like to twist words around. People just like to twist words around for whatever stupid ass reason, and just to be ignorant, right? But it got to the point where he's just, like I say, he just started crying because he kept asking the caller the same questions. I don't know if I could pull it up over and over. I don't know if he erased it or not, but he kept asking this caller the same question over and over again, and he wouldn't. It's like he wouldn't answer the question. He just kept, he kept filibustering. So I need to find it. I'll try to find it. I'll try to find it. But it was mad disgusting. It, like I said, it was so bad that like he was going to rage quit. There ain't nothing wrong with rage quitting. There is nothing wrong with rage quitting. It's just that people are not just gonna push my buttons and piss me off to the point where I start crying. Ain't no goddamn way in hell. Ain't no way. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe I can find it. But like I said, it's one of those nasty ones. But then Dean's different. Dean knows how to. I think Dean knows how to adapt. Unless these homophobic assholes just say something different. But the point is, yes, he was really crying. He was really fucking crying. I'm not gonna hold you. He was really effing crying. He said, I'm just so sick of this. I am really just so sick of this. I gotta I don't know. I don't know. I want to find that. She got me. Hell, she got me looking for it. While I look for it, damn. Now I gotta do a deep dive into it. But it's tough, man. It's real tough. Like I said, when I was doing my back and forths with all these anti-Umar supporters, and I didn't cry. I basically cussed your ass out. Told you to go to hell, kiss my ass, suck my dick. So that's the type of person that I was. He was like, this is appalling. This is absurd. How can, and he was right. How can you defend a person that has 34 felony counts, no matter if he was tried in federal court or civil court, it does not matter. The man is fucking guilty, but yet you condone rape. You condone rape. You condone, grabbing a woman by the cooch. You have this thing with immigrants. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I do know why, because they're not you. You fear that they're taking away all the jobs, and they're taking away all your air, and it's just disgusting, man. And then you go to trans. Why are we talking about trans? This has nothing to do with even though I'm not into that whole LGBTQ thing. These dudes start going into trans. Like, what do trans got to do with anything? I don't want them in my bathroom. I don't want them in my bathroom either, but let me ask y'all a question. Has an immigrant bothered you? Immigrants have bothered me. I have no problem. I have no issues with an immigrant whatsoever. Right? Legal or illegal, I have no problems with immigrants. But apparently, because they're getting these jobs, but I'm like, wait a minute, you stole a whole country. Think about that. You stole a whole effing country, enslaved millions, within millions of slaves, millions of Africans, turned the what I would call the the Americans per se. I forgot what it is. It's another terminology to it, but you turn them into Americans thievery through the mind. You're taking away the mind. The body doesn't mean shit at that point. You can be 6'5", 250 pounds soaking wet with muscle. Once they take away this, it's pretty much a wrap for you. You are in the mind, you are a fucking baby. And this is what Kanye West didn't understand when Kanye West was on I think TMZ. He went over there to TMZ and he started talking. He mentioned, paraphrasing, he mentioned something about how there were like 400,000 slaves and they could have freed themselves. I said, how? How can a mindless vegetable free themselves? So they can just, oh yeah, slavery was a choice. To who? So we could just, there was an opportunity to walk out, right? There was an opportunity for them to walk out and just, arm themselves and start killing people and start killing slave masters like Nat Turner did so long ago. You must not have heard of Willie Lynch. Somebody should have told him you don't know. Obviously, you don't know Willie Lynch. Obviously. That's why he had Pam Bondi go after Letitia James and Courtney. Exactly. And she's free yet again. They didn't. The indictment is no more. She is free. This is, mind you, third time. Third time they tried to indict her. It's crazy. He's a Kanye West. That's what he said. Kanye West is an idiot. Genius. He is a musical genius. He is a musical genius, but an idiot nevertheless. Well, million. That's what happens when $1 million in $1 billion at one point. But then again, he's still a millionaire. I mean, he's lost millions, but he's still a millionaire. But I gotta find that though. You got me looking and searching for that shit. It's just crazy. I hope he didn't delete the shit. What was that? But they better. They better let it go. What do you mean? They better let it go. No, they better let him go. Because if I was a white man, I would have been like, you do need to go somewhere. You just need to go somewhere. Your presence is no longer needed, my man. Go and make some more hit records for Jay-Z or something. Which I think, by the way, he has issues with Beyonce and Jay-Z, I think. I don't know. I really don't know. Let me see.
Like, I mean, they're presenting. And literally they're being ignored. And then there are people that try to pretend as if the numbers and the data are real and that these hospitals about to catch are real as well. And so I will say that, when the legal system works the way that it's supposed to, that is why there's a change in certain people's tunes, because they've been hit in the pocket. And unfortunately, a lot of people in this country only respond to green. So that's number one. Number two, whether it's the Momnibus that Lauren Underwood has filed, or whether we come up with creative solutions around those hospital systems that are receiving federal dollars, and coming up with at least reporting mechanisms that require them to report certain things, because sometimes people change their act if they know that there's documentation around what's going on. So there's a lot of different ways that we could do this, because we would have to tie federal dollars somehow down to them, in my opinion, to get anything done. But if you've noticed, we're not getting very much done with the Republicans. Like, they're not trying to help people. So, I don't really see anything happening anytime soon, but.
No, but what I do see, some changes happening. I do see some changes being made. I do see this woman making a whole bunch of noise. I do see this woman making a whole bunch of noise. So shout out to Jasmine Crockett. I don't even know what's wrong with this thing. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's because my cord, something's wrong with my cord, but I don't know. We got a whole brand new AI washer and dryer, so we're blessed. We are definitely blessed. We got a whole AI washer and dryer, and I like that thing too. I like that thing. It's really weird, but I like it. Pretty much everything is AI now. So like, share, and subscribe to you. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So where was I going? Where was I going with it? Damn, I had a train of thought. I lost the train of thought. Fuck. Maybe I'll go this way. Maybe I'll get my memory back because I wanted to talk something very, very, very important. Oh yeah, I know what it was. I know what it was. And this is up Lisa's alley. Let's just say I went over to Lisa's house. She prepped dinner. You know, the husband was there. Everybody was there. We're having a good old time, eating, celebrating, whatever. Me and the husband, we talk sports, right? We're talking sports. We're talking, the Atlanta Braves or some shit. I don't like talking too much sports, right? But let's just say we get into sports, but then all of a sudden we start talking politics. And when we start talking politics, that's when the women get involved. And when the women get involved in politics, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. So let's just say, it's like, and plus I'm not engaging in any arguments. I'm not engaging in anything. I'm just letting you know I'm not going to waste my time. And I'll tell this to anybody. I told this to my oldest cousin. I said, I'm not wasting my time having my ass getting up off my comfortable chair, my comfortable couch, going to some fucking poll and voting for a person who does not have my best interest or black people's best interest. It's just not going to happen that way. But then they're going to argue up and down how, oh, the black people do sacrifice their lives for you. And it's like, bullshit. They didn't sacrifice their lives. What they did was they were forced into that realm. They were forced into that lane. Why do you think in World War I they started lining up black people right in front with rarely, because they were going to be the first ones to die. If they were going to be the first ones to die, do you think they were going to have a mantle with their names on them? Hell no. Life, liberty, and the suit of happiness? My ass. You were labeled as property. You were labeled as 3/5 of a human being. And you think these people even get 1 inch of a damn about who your ancestors were? They fought and bled and died for who? Who and what? Obviously, they didn't fought and bled. You didn't fought and bled and died for you because obviously you didn't. Where was your fucking 40 acres and a mule and $100? Where was that? Nowhere to be found specifically. But you give it to the Asians, you give it to the gays, you give it to the Indians. But then again, you turn around and fuck over the Indians as well. White people enslaved us, Indians captured us, and dead or alive. But then you turn around and fuck over the Indians. But anyway, you wanted me to go to the polls and do what? Vote for somebody who does not have my best interest. But mind you, I'm taking a big risk. I am taking a real big risk with this one. Number one, she's young. Number two, she's like, what? What did I say she was? She's a junior. And again, if you can give me the names, which I don't think any of y'all gave me any names of the people who called out white supremacy. I don't know any other person other than Jasmine Crockett mentioning anything about white supremacy and what's going on in this country. She's not in the position yet to basically make any type of real major decisions. Correct me if I'm wrong. But one of these days, and of course, there's a lot of, that was the point of this whole story. There's a lot of hate out there. It's just hate. Just hate all around the world. Hate for one congresswoman. It's just insane. But I remember one person saying, she's not AOC. You know where he is, right? So what did the woman say? They disagree. No, what happened was, and this is not really my story, even though I've dealt with the same thing. What happened is this person, I guess this was around Thanksgiving, and the person, just wanted to be around family, and they end up talking politics. There are some Trump supporters in this guy's family. He is a Democrat, I guess. I'm not going to engage in any. I try not to engage in none of that crap. I really don't. Because all I want to do is sit, have my plate of food with my beer, and chill out with the fam around the swimming pool. Is that too much to ask? But then they pressure you. Just like I got pressured when I went over my aunt's house. When I went over my aunt's house, I was being pressured like, you need to take your ass onto the polls and you need to vote for this. I'm like, for fucking what? I didn't understand then. I didn't understand it then because I was young. And of course, I was registered to vote. I didn't understand it then. But when I got older, when I got to the age of reason, it was like, oh, she's giving me Bernie Sanders. Bernie fucking Sanders. Get out of get. No, not going. Al Green, I could see it. But Bernie Sanders, 90-year-old Bernie Sanders. Nope. Kamala, nah, I don't know. AOC, nah. Mm-mm. Warren, nah. Mm-mm. Like Al Green, maybe. But Jasmine is the only person that I know who has consistently across the board has mentioned about white supremacy and called it out personally. Called it so much personally that it caught the attention of Megyn Kelly. And then Megyn Kelly, of course, she gets on everybody's fucking nerves. It's like, I don't know why I get mad. I did a poll and it caught so many views. I did a poll the other day saying, should I roast this woman? Some said yes. Others said no. Others said, what's the point? Others said, well, you can go into it and do like a few minutes on it and just let it go. I mean, I could, but what good will it do? It's not like it's gonna go viral. I think I need a little bit more. I think I need a little bit more subscribership to just get the attention of one Megyn Kelly. And I'll just do one of these and just go about my business. Because white folks don't. I mean, she ain't nothing but a Nick Fuentes anyway. That's all she is. She's nothing but another Nick Fuentes. Just like Lily Gallus. Lily Gallus is nothing but another Nick Fuentes. Lily Gallus is another one, but let me not bore you with that bitch. So anyway, we're there and shit goes far left. Now, I've argued with my family before about this same situation, but in this case, in this guy's family, and I'll show you the clip. In this guy's family, he somehow Jasmine Crockett's name came up. Jasmine Crockett's name came up out of all senators, Congress housemen, whatever, presidents. The lowest of the totem pole, Jasmine Crockett's name got mentioned out of everything. And we all know why. She is mentioned, she is known for shaking her head, rolling her eyes, talking this and talking that. You know, she's a particular black woman. She's fake. She's phony. She's ghetto. She's hood. She's street. That's what we need. Shit. Ain't nothing wrong with being 90% political, 10% hood. Hey, if you can put this jacko in office, if you can put Mr. Grab him by the pussy in office, but I don't hear anything about that. I don't hear any criticism on Trump. But hey, it is what it is. It pretty much is what it is. I've been watching this stuff a long time, and these people didn't just start their talking points. I'm just making a statement. Lisa is right. A politician named Steve King in big trouble for calling Trump a white supremacist a year ago. Ooh. But that's just one. It's just one person. What about a legion? Because again, according to him, we're shithole countries. We're nothing but shitholes, according to him. Did I bother to show you? Did I bother to show you this idiotic bullshit that just came in a long time ago? Did I? I don't know if I ever showed you that. What about I'm just saying. What about a legion of people? A legion of people that say, Trump, you ain't shit. And you know you ain't shit. But listen to this dumbass. Just listen.
Somali community. security in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also
I wouldn't be
saying,
proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. That's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, it just happened. And she shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent.
Just in this motherfucker, just in this alone, he just looks tired. He looks tired, don't he? He just looks sleepy. Oh, just imagine wiping the drool from this dude's lips. I can imagine white people coming into the show. Don't you be talking about our president of the United States. It's like, who's our? That your, not our. Remember, I don't know if you ever watched it, but you remember when she did that? And drool was coming. That was embarrassing to the nation.
Waltz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with, go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. All she does is complain about this country. Without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country.
Who writes his script? Who in the fuck writes this dude's script? Because obviously he didn't write it himself. So who writes his scripts? Because he says the same thing. He says the same thing to other African countries that he calls shithole countries. But he swears beyond reasonable doubt that Israel is the greatest country of all. We made peace in Israel. Really, how come they're still bickering on each other? And then gonna have to know the nerve to go seek out because somebody was in this dude's ear about Nigeria. Because Nigerian has good Christians over there. Don't mess with the Christians or we're gonna come get you. Motherfucker, you ain't Christian. The fuck? You are not Christian, dude. Like, but we swear, don't talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Don't talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. 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 Charlie Kirk. Trump. 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 Charlie Kirk. Trump. Trump. Charlie Kirk. Fuck them over one. How's that? This is what the people want. And this is what the people get away with. I have more respect for George Bush than I have for Donald Trump. I have more respect for Ross Perot than I do Donald Trump. Do you understand me? I can't believe that came out of my lips. I have more respect for Ross Perot. Amazing. Hell, I have more respect for Nixon than I do fucking Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a capitalist. what is that? What is that scripture in the Bible when it says the devil is like a roaring lion seeking for who he may devour? Some shit like that. Donald Trump is a roaring lion. As a matter of fact, they say that Donald Trump is the Antichrist. Maybe he is. But I'm looking forward to JD Vance. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to that. What up, though? Much respect, much respect. My respect for them only goes as far as their ability to challenge me. Yep, it is Samuel's 1 Samuel's 8. First Samuel's 8. Yep. Donald Trump is like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. And he has devoured Venezuela. He tried to devour people from God dang it. What was his name? Ibrahim Traore's people and Pentecostal. I can't even say the name right back. He's tried to devour the people in Nigeria. He's tried to devour the people in this country, that country. He's tried to make peace with China. He's tried to make peace with the people in Russia, with Putin. Putin is made a complete idiot out of him. He doesn't want anything to do with Putin at all. He's gonna fuck around. Donald Trump is going to fuck around one of these. Just wait. One of these days, we got 3 years left. He's going to find out and fuck around with the wrong general of some country. I'm telling you right now, he's going to fuck around with the wrong person, and we are going to be in serious trouble because of him. Mark my words, write it, clock it, whatever. As the kids say, clock it, right? I don't like that shit. I don't even know what that means. But guaranteed, we need to start worrying about ourselves right now. It's long overdue to start worrying what black people are going to do from here on in. But the problem is, we are just, again, I don't know how many times I got to say it, we're just so separated from each other. And the prime example for that is you have these people in FBA making, always bickering and bitching and moaning about, other Africans, other blacks coming over here. Motherfucker, all they want to do is work. We have other cult members becoming cult members, and it's separating us. They want to get rid of the Pan-Africans. James Smalls is a Pan-African. I have more respect for James Smalls than I do a Tariq Nasheed, but that's a different story for a different day. I will have a little bit more respect for FBA, the phony Black Americans. I will have more respect for them. But since you want to go after elders, you want to just nitpick. We ain't got time to be nitpicking. And the fact of it, because you can't figure out, or you tried to trace your family all the way back to the 1800s, which started over here, which is totally false, because it begins with your what? DNA. It doesn't begin with a piece of paper. I can hand you a piece of paper and say my daddy and my granddaddy and my granddaddy and my great great granddaddy and my great 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 granddaddy and my great 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 granddaddy. You only have 4 grandmothers. You have 4 grandparents, 8 great grandparents, 16 great great grandparents. The list goes on and on and on. So until you start figuring this out, until you release yourself from this so-called cult, this is what you're going to end up in. Well, we're about 3 or 4 million strong, and it's like 3 or 4 million versus 6.5 whites that are already here. Versus, believe it or not, the Mexicans or the Hispanics have a little bit of more numbers. Believe it or not. A little bit more numbers than you, fam. I would say 2% more than you. Because all they do is make babies, but they make babies in one house. They don't F around and make babies with this one and make babies with that one and make babies with that one and make babies with this one. And it's like Papa was a Rolling Stone. They don't do all that. They stay in one motherfucking house. You're separating yourselves. That's why I can't take conversations like this too serious, because you're all over the place in the lineages and all this. And all this started with one person. All this started because of one ex-pimp. Since pimping been pimping, and ever since that whole debacle with Yvette Cornell and Tariq Nasheed. Yvette Cornell and Tariq Nasheed just went at each other, and all of a sudden FBA was born. I have more respect for Yvette Cornell. I don't know why, but she's not too much of a controversial person. I know she wants reparations for her people. We cannot ignore the fact that we do not have allies. Whites are not your ally. Get that through your thick skull right now. The whites are not your ally. Asians are not your ally either. The Indians are not your allies. Well, the United States of America is the greatest force. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, again, going back to what I said before, what is the greatest force in the United States of America when they lined you up in a line of two or three, or however the line started back in World War I? Were you free? Answer this question, yes or no. Were you free? Were you really free before 1865? Were you free? Were you really, really free in 1865? Why did I say before? Were you really, really free in 1865? I'll wait. I will wait. I've met great immigrants. Me too. I've met great immigrants. from all over. But when they talk about us like we failed, I come unplugged. I see and get heated. I've never spoken with an immigrant about anything political. As a matter of fact, one of them, there was one time at one point or another where my old neighbor, um, she even admit that her people were, were acting like rubbishes or whatever. And like we don't get into politics like that. I never had to run into one talking shit. Not one time. Never ran into him yet. Maybe I'm the lucky one. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm lucky. But that's a wasted conversation. They're wondering. The people in South Africa are wondering why Black Americans hate them so much. They're wondering that too. So we got people putting it in each other's heads, and it all starts with a white person too. It all starts with one. Just like the William O'Neills of the world, it always starts with that one. Just imagine South Africa, people in Haiti. To me, those are our allies, and this is why I align myself with Pan-Africanism. Booker T. Washington was a Pan-Africanist, and he was the lightest of the light skin. Yeah, I don't think they look down at us at all. That's just a myth. That is a myth. It's not factual. It's all just a fucking myth. Because again, I never had issues with an immigrant. Not one time. I partied with them. I ate with them. Sat down, had small little chit chats, even though they talked in their French language. Creole was what they called them. Never had a issue with them at all. I know they mom. I know they daddy. I took in their kids to school. Right? My daughter played with their daughter. I don't see the issue. All I see is make America white again. I ought to come up with a hat and say, make Black America stand up again. Make Pan-African fight again. That's what I should come up with. I should come up with that shit. It's not just the ones that I know. It's not just the ones that I know either. I've worked with immigrants before. And again, we do not talk politics. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter where I meet them from. It doesn't matter where I go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't knock into anybody who think or looks down upon me because I'm a free Black, but I'm poor and I'm useless, and I've never had a person talk shit to me like that. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, I need to talk to Fighter. I need to talk to Fighter because Fighter's an immigrant. And he has nothing but immigrants on his channel. So I have no issues. He may do, but I don't. He used to come on my channel. There was a point of time when me and Fighter, we used to have conversations about it. He was like, would you date an immigrant? It's like, hell yeah, I would. As long as they know their Africanity. Of course I would. As long as you know your Africanity, as long as you know that you're African, you are all right with me. We need to stop with this whole goddamn notion, this whole talk, this whole non-existent thing that we can't coexist with one another. All because what? Two people spoke up. Two people graduated in California somewhere and then got a good decent job and started talking that rubberish. So because of two people, you're going to demonize, not y'all, but you're going to demonize, right? You're going to demonize a whole fleet of Venezuelans. You're going to demonize a whole fleet of Nigerians. That is crazy work. That is crazy work. They who? I don't see them. I don't fucking see them anywhere. I don't. Who? What? I don't see them. That's the silly part. That's the silly part about it. You want me to look for somebody. You want me to look for a whole group of flowers. Where are the bad ones at? I'm looking. Look, I ain't got that kind of time. Maybe you could point them out to me in the video. Maybe me and him have a conversation. I have immigrants from Britain used to come on my channel. I talk to people from Jamaica all the time. I'll even give you her name. I have me and this lady, we've been friends for over 2 years. She's came over here before. Debate lock on this. Why you gotta debate me on it? You can debate all you like, but I'm just telling you my experience. Even Trev, my homegirl, she's been my homegirl for many years. She will tell you. But then again, she's not a very controversial person. She knows what's going on. And she will tell you the people in that part of town where she was born and raised, they mistreat black women. Right? So any and everything that goes on in America, it's the same thing over there. Which I didn't believe it at first. I thought Jamaican was one of the most greatest places. I mean, of course, the people are good. The water's fresh. It's like you can brush your teeth in the water. Like, fuck, this is like lily clean. Like, there are tons of stories on this. Show me, because I can't look for any. Again, when I saw that story about Somalia, It was like, okay, so that's one, two, that's what, 0.5%. Ooh wee. Again, I'm not gonna condemn a whole Foot Clan of people like that. I'm just not gonna do that. Because again, we should know by now what the propaganda is. Why do you think all these stories are coming up in the first place? We had never had any other stories come up against any other president. Donald Trump is controversial. Remember the whole countries? Thingamajig, all that shit was going on. Again, what would happen if you get a fleet of Nigerians, a fleet of Somalians, not Somalians, Venezuelans, Somalians, I guess you say Somalians, Venezuelans, people from South Africa, not Pentecostal. What is that? What is that country? What is that fucking country? Just imagine all of us coming together, including American Africans coming together and fighting this one bad president. Not as bad as this. Understandable, but it's not as bad as this. Not as bad as this. We all thought George Bush was bad. He wasn't as bad. It was scary due to 9/11, but it wasn't as bad. He's not a controversial figure. Obama was a controversial figure due to him putting his name on the health care package, which was quote called, and still white folks are pissed off to this very day that it's called Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act is called Obamacare. That's the reason why they're mad at him now. Still to this day, he's not even president anymore. Right? He's not even president anymore than to get mad at him. But he's not even partial. He's not even a percent, a fraction controversial. We all know because he's black. But Donald Trump, I don't know why people can't admit this, but Donald Trump, after what happened in 2020, in January 6th of 2020, I'm telling you, if you would have seen the look on this dude's face, he is controversy. They said they better not let me back in. What did the people end up doing? Actually, he ended up doing it himself because he ended up cheating, putting his own votes out. But he said, I will have my revenge. Because not only is he blaming Joe Biden for him allegedly cheating, which Joe Biden never cheated. Now I can't believe I'm standing up for the prick, because I don't even like Joe Biden like that. Because of it, that's part of it too. Because of his birth, because Donald Trump thought that he was born in Nigeria. You got an immigrant over here. Actually, he was born in Hawaii. No, he was not born in Chicago. He was born in Hawaii. And Hawaii is a part of what? The United States. So kiss my ass. So anyway, any fucking way, they would not include Hawaii being the 51st state. I think they finally did that in 1983. I'm not sure of that. I gotta check on that. But they finally included this. This is an actual state. There were 50 states. Now there are 51. Or 50 going to countries in the 50 states, whatever. Trump is jealous of everybody. Of course, he gets more. He beats off to Obama, yes, but when it comes to his best friend, old Joe, it's just like who's doing the bending and who's doing the receiving. Trump goes, "You've been bending me over for quite some time, Joe. When you let me do a reach around?" And Joe says, "No." I don't like that. I'm telling you this, but back to this nonsense. I don't if you can see what I see, and this is the reason why Pan-African is needed. If you can see what I see and what's working versus what's not, if you get my drift, this split down the middle is not working. It's not going to work. Okay, I might concede a little bit in saying that your family tree, but there's a reason, a real big reason, and there's a certain bill that came out a long time ago about your whole reparations thing. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see. There's a certain bill that came out which Gavin Newsom signed into law. Gavin Newsom signed this thing into law, which people are tripping about to this very day. I want to definitely get into that real quick. These two bums. Oh, God. Oh. Just bums. Let's see. I'll go to this one. Like, share, and subscribe. I know this is a big ass rant. Let me see. Oh boy. Is it? Yep, lineage. Yep. Here we go.
Delineation.
Delineation.
Oh my goodness. So unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure many of you guys are well aware of the strong push groups, right? From Africans who are immigrants coming here that, hey, they not like us, all right? That is known to everybody else. Now, that being said, I have no issue with delineation. I completely understand it. That's going to have to be, set for any type of reparations, okay? Now, having said that, people are like, Lucas, you don't even know what's going on. There's a woman, Laura Richardson, who put out a bill, SB 515.
Hey!
Push for delineation is here. Signed into law.
The S, anybody know anything about the S as in snake, B as in bat, dash 515? Anybody know about that? Anybody know about that? Hey, Emma. Long time no see, Emma. How you been, Emma? Okay, this is what Gavin Newsom, I believe, signed into law.
By Gavin Newsom. Now, listen, y'all know how I feel. y'all know how I feel about Gavin Newsom, all right? Literal Satan in my eyes, a complete POS. Now, anything that Gavin Newsom
Damn it. Hold on.
expect for him to sign something into law that's actually going to give you any type of tangible, any type of benefit for Black Americans. But I'll hold my breath, right? I'll hold my my beliefs, my bias for Gavin Newsom. Maybe he's changed his ways. So I look at, for those Richard's looking at Inglewood, we're looking at Compton, we're looking at Wilmington, San Pedro. That's what she's doing. So she introduced the bill, SB 515, and that's what everyone's been reading. Now, there's a little thing when it comes to bills, for those of you who don't know. The bill that is introduced, 10 out of 10, listen, not even 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 is not the bill that's signed into law. I just want people to understand that, because I know a lot of people, as I've been telling people, is to educate yourself on politics so you don't get the bill that was introduced by Laura Richardson. Now, I went and looked up that bill. And in the bill, it talks about how they're going to collect data from the residents. I'm like, okay, we're going to find out, who in the area is Black American, who is freedmen, right? And then it goes on and talks about freedmen and gives a whole paragraph about the history of freedmen. And hey, this is 4 million Black people, 1865. This is from slavery. Whoop, whoop. I'm like, all right, this actually seems legit. So I then go and see what the bill was that was signed into law. Rest assured, the bill that was signed into law, then the bill that was introduced. So all you goofies who keep on reading the bill that was introduced, once again, don't work. That is not how politics works. The bill, this is something that I keep on SB 515, the same goofies were who lambasted what Kamala Harris.
I'm just not going to do anything just for Black people.
Yeah. Now, in addition to that, she talked about the Black man agenda, right? Where she had a plan for a Black man agenda. Now, people, the same goofies, mind you, we're talking about, oh, this is bullcrap. They didn't do nothing for Black men. Oh, she did collard greens in the bathtub. She's not really Black. Oh, she's not talking about cash payment, and completely threw her under the bus. Now, the reason why I didn't do that is because I understand how politics works. Okay, you start off vague, and then after you get into office, we narrow it down. First change is that they crossed out residents and put employees. Right there, bruh. Right then and there, we have just completely crippled the bill. We crippled it. We watered it down immensely. Because now we went from everyone to employee. Followed up with, when it comes to origins, the ethnic origins of persons, they cross out persons and put what? They put those employed by the city or the county. Now, what that does, is that means unless you have a government job, boo-boo, you are not going to be counted.
Come on now, dog.
That's how that works, okay? Unless you have a government job, unless you are employed by the city or the county, the data that they collect for freedmen, for Black Americans who are descendants of chattel slavery, you are not going to be included in that data. It's only government employees. Now, riddle me this, Batman. How does that help with anything about reparations? It doesn't, okay? It doesn't. Because how I see it, because when you look at bills like this, you have to also look at how can they use this and be deceitful? How can these demons be malicious and be harmful, right? Because they've never done anything for our benefit. Never, okay? Ostensibly, the veneer may be like, well, we're doing this for you guys, okay? That's what we're doing. We just want to help you all out, all right? That's never the case. That's never how it's implemented. So I'm thinking, if they go and get all this data on freedmen government positions, they can simply say, well, look, there is no disparities going on with Black Americans. Next thing is that we have freedmen. You remember that big old paragraph where they gave the history of freedmen? That's all gone. That's all gone. So the reason why I like that, because it was very specific as to who and what freedmen came from. 4 million, 1865, slavery, United States, right? These were points that you couldn't muddy up the waters. You couldn't say, well, we want to change that. No. That was there. They removed all of that, bro. Now, the issue I have with that is that they didn't do that for any other bill. They didn't do that for the recent bill that Newsom signed for immigration. They had Latinos in the bill. They explained how many Latinos there was when it came to immigration and, stopping the ICE and everything. They didn't do that for that bill. They didn't do that for as far as the COVID-19, also known as the Stop Asian Hate Crime bill. They had a whole history of the Asians that were attacked and the history of going on discrimination of the Asians. They didn't do any of that. But when it comes to a Black American bill, they erased all that history, bro. They erased it. And what they did is they referenced a government code, which was, I think, 8310, right? The government code. That's what they go and reference. Now, for those of you goofies who, once again, aren't aware of 8310, 8310 actually does what y'all been crying about, delineation. It makes a distinction between those who are Black Americans, who are descendants of chattel slavery, African Americans, and those who are not.
Pause it right there. Well, I hope that you are satisfied. I gotta do this in my Bill Cosby voice. I hope that you're satisfied. I hope that you are satisfied. I told you that lineage was not going to work. You wanted to separate yourselves and you wanted to be your own freaking clan. I hope that you are satisfied. Now, I wonder what you took out of all this. Oh boy. I wonder what you all took from this, because if I were to go live on this again, and this just proves that togetherness is not even a chore. Because if you were coming together and, like, I don't know, call yourself the black hole, I don't care. You call yourself something other than what you're calling yourself now, but you have no identity. But but you're no different. But some of you, not for those in this Humpty Bumpty, but for those of you out there who you know better from Trump, because Trump is not only is he not my president, but he's the most delusionalist president I have ever had to do a live on, right? It's nothing to write home mommy and daddy about that he's the worst president in the United States. I mean, the economy is, but when you give the illusion of inclusion, and white folks are going to eat this up all day because they still say to this day that the economy is better, gas prices are lowered, food is lowered. It's you can't even argue with white people at this point. You cannot argue with white folks at this particular time because the delusions of grandeur are great. It's 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 ridiculous, but they can think whenever they want, right? They can think the delusion. They can ignore all of what Trump has done, continues to do. I don't know any other president that tweets this much, who talks this much garbage. I don't know any other president. Do you? I don't know any other president. Do you? Trump is just needs to. I would just think that he would sit back, do minor things, make the best decisions, the best choices for not just for the United States but for the nation. That hasn't gone. I mean, where are all the promises? Where are all the promises that he's going to make this country? This is going to make things better in our economy. Whoop, hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened yet, and it's almost been a year. We're still waiting on those stimulus checks. Oh, you didn't know about the $2,000 stimuluses that he was going to use off of the tariffs? You didn't know about them. You didn't know about that $2,000 stimulus? Wow. I thought y'all be talking shit. Oh, I got my stimulus. Oh, I'm gonna go out and party. Get shit. America is broke. We're a $60 trillion debt country. He doubled the stimulus check every couple of months. He dangled every couple of months. Well, that's the problem. That's mainly the problem. I think he's gonna give you something when he ain't gonna give you shit. Lisa, go ahead and take my head off.
Okay, no problem. Now, you keep, just because you say something doesn't make it true, and it doesn't debunk other stuff that you don't know. You keep saying you know nobody else that has called out white supremacy except Jasmine. When I sit up here and give you 5, 6 people that were around before Jasmine that have done it, excuse me, are you gonna listen to me? Or are we gonna I mean, I'll let you talk.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. So anyway, when I give you people, and this isn't the first time you've done that, and other people give you people, you reject it. Look, I like Jasmine. And as I told you, I was talking about Jasmine when you weren't. I like Jasmine, but facts are facts. Remember, facts over feelings. You know, we can't, just because we like somebody, when somebody else speaks something that's the truth or factual, doesn't take anything away from Jasmine. When I mentioned AOC, I told you when she came on the scene with the 118th Congress, Jasmine reminded me of her because she was everywhere. She's still everywhere. Not to take anything from Jasmine, you seem to think there's this thing where it's either Jasmine or AOC. It's Jasmine against everybody else. And that's not true. It's just like what Barb was just telling you. You are one individual, just like I am one individual. Your experience.
She cut out. Or maybe it's just me. She cut out. You still there? I think she cut out. Or is it me? I wonder. Is she still talking? I think she cut out.
Yeah, I'm still here. Hello?
You might want to backtrack 30 seconds.
Okay.
Again, we're all listening. Yeah, and don't come back. I said what I said. I didn't. She's still. The thing is, she's still on it. I was like, I've been off of that. I'm just saying. I never heard Al Green, possibly Al Green, because he's still on this impeachment shit. But AOC, maybe I need to look back into the archives, okay? And I need to look back and I need to see if she even uttered the words. If she did not utter those words, then I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Who else did she say? Kamala? I have never heard of Kamala. Maybe she repeated it after somebody else repeated it. I was defending Lisa and YouTube blocked my comments. That's one of the reasons why I don't do StreamYard, because I don't block. I don't know how to block a comment. I just know how to kick people off. That's the one thing. I know how to ban people, but to block their comments for what? For what? You don't get them now, you're gonna get them later. So yeah, I never, not once, said that she was wrong. I just said I don't believe it. And I was being a little bit sarcastic with it because I don't see Bernie Sanders saying this shit. 90-year-old Bernie Sanders. I think I met Bernie Sanders before. No, because I met Mrs. Waters before. I definitely met Mrs. Waters before. Here she comes. She's back to tear my head off again. Lisa, before you continue to suffer the neck, I just want to say one thing before you go. For one, can you hear me? Can you hear? Quit being the cheerleader. Can you hear me? It's something's wrong with her mic. Unmute or she's not muted. Let me see. She is not muted. She's not muted. Let's see. Let me edit her mic there. Yes, right. Oh, she has no echo whatsoever. I just turned her mic up a little bit. Testing. Can you hear me? Lisa. Okay, let me see if I could. Let me see if I could try this. Look here, woman. I said what I said, and I said what I meant. Now, what you need to do is you need to humbly apologize to me and apologize to everybody for trying to insult me on my own live stream. I'll wait. You don't come on this Humpty Bumpty and try to embarrass me. I got the flow. You're using your not your laptop, but you're using your what you call them things, them Laffy Tappies or whatever the fuck you're using. Don't use those. Those are piss poor. I would rather use your phone. Just go into it. Well, I'm about to dip out in a few minutes, but I'll be live tomorrow when Jasmine's on, and then we'll finish our conversation a little later. But other than that, I won the debate. Me, We-On-Loc Nation, I won the debate. Thank you for. She was like, yeah, whatever, Nick. She said, whatever, Nick. She rage quit. She rage quit. I'm just playing. But yeah, but again, I get what she's saying. So ha, Barb, ha, how you like me now? I'm sitting pretty. Now, give me my $2 on my Cash App. You see that Cash App that's flowing right there? I want my Cash App. I want my $2 in my Cash App because I won the bet. I won the debate. It's not over. Why don't you come up? Since you want to be the cheerleader, why don't you bring your little ring bowling ass up in there? But as I stated, in conclusion, because I'm going in the whole conclusion thing. In conclusion to this, while we're going through this whole terrorism thing of Republicans fighting Democrats and Republicans getting away with any and everything, a shining star is approaching, and hopefully it's Jasmine, because we do need. I need to see this for myself, how this is going to work. And if she does good in the Senate, which I know she's going to do, I know she is going to crush it in the Senate. Clock it. She is going to. I need to stop doing that shit. We need to see what she's going to do well in the Senate. She is going to do very well, very, very well in the Senate. But let's see what decision she makes tomorrow. I don't know when she goes on. I'm just going to go live when she goes live. Simple as that. Simple and plain as that. Follow along with me. I think hopefully, she will be on around 6 o'clock. Well, it'll be late by the time, possibly by the time y'all go to bed. You tell them. You tell them, Bar. She couldn't match my energy. When she go low, I go high. When she go low, I go high. And I'm just looking down and like, you looking kind of small right now. Don't you ever. This is my live stream. Hopefully she'll go live earlier than usual. Hopefully. But the only time I ever see her is when she's like having her makeup off or something like that. But we will see. We will see. I'll let you know on the update. Email, comment section, or rather not comment section, but post. I'll let you know vis-a-vis by post, vis-a-vis by email, vis-a-vis by whatever. I will definitely let you know when I go on live tomorrow. Okay? But in conclusion, as I stated, this would definitely be hope in hopes of things getting better, but I don't see them getting better, not anytime soon, because again, we don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 years. People are still losing their minds, along with their jobs, along with their pensions, along with any other, and again, just taking money. That's all he does is take, and give it to his bosom buddies that put him in the office in the first place. The elitists. And another thing, we got to stop separating ourselves. This is not a good look for the Black Americans who are here in this country legally and have to endure all this mess from FBAs or anybody. And Adolf said they're not even causing any turmoil. FBAs are, because they feel that they have something that belongs to them, which they know they're not going to get it. If it's been this fucking long, what makes you think that they're going to give you a dime? You got it in what was it? You got it in stimuluses. That was your reparation stimulus. Donald Trump even threw it in your face that he was supposed to be getting $230 million or something like that. $230 million because he was cheated out of the election. He wasn't cheated out of no election. You weren't popular, but you made yourself popular by cheating. The next thing I'm going to do, starting possibly tomorrow, is I'm going to label the live stream the most sickest and wickedest redneck Peckerwood. No, I ain't gonna come up with that. I gotta come up with something better than that. Peckerwoods are sick. No. White trash is pathetic. No, I'm not. All around the world, sick song. The same old sick song. The same old run of the mill. We-On-Loc, you were supposed to have us on the panel today. I put the link up there. You didn't want to show up. Only one person came up on the panel. That was Lisa. Only one person. Mahogany was here, but she didn't come up. I put the link up there a long time ago. Barb, she too scared of me. We can tag team. You ain't tag. I wish you would. I wish I might. y'all still couldn't tag. You tag team, you still couldn't beat me. You could not beat me. We're talking about early today. Oh, you could listen. You couldn't beat me at night. You couldn't beat me in the morning. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, okay. All right, all right. Okay, okay, all right. Good. All right. Now, with that being said, I got things to do, and I got tacos to eat. Don't let your mouth run check. You can't get yes. But Barclay, I've been asking you. I've been asking you to come and hey chop it up with your boy for a very long time, and I just want to say on a serious note. Uh, I want to say on a real serious note, thank you. Um, thank you to all of you. Um, I wouldn't be in this position. Let me just estimate here real quick before departure how far it's gone because I do look a lot and I do pay attention. So let's see. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, so it's basically 12,500. 12,548 and ongoing. So thank you. Thank Lisa, of course, Mahogany, three of my favorite ladies. Brownie, I guess you're in that category too, even though you're getting on my nerves. Let's just keep this thing going. Let's keep this thing going. I'll make sure you are. Well, you're gonna have to let me know tomorrow because I'm gonna retire. I'm retiring after this. After I eat my tacos, because I still got laundry to do. I still got everything to do. But just be careful. Be careful out there, and take care of your bodies. Do I have to say it to a certain individual? All right. Thank you guys for all of what you've done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Without y'all, this would not be possible. And I want to thank all the people out there who had helped me get subscribership on. So there's not enough thank yous in the world. There's not enough thank yous in the world to express how I feel about this. You know, what happened about us being alive. You can't get your shit straight. You was just up on here. You was just up on here, but now I got to go. Barb don't want no piece of this. She probably at work fiddling her thumbs. I'll tell you what. Let's see. Cause she know her black ass ain't coming up in here. She knows she ain't coming up in here. She too scared. I'll do this. I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes. Boom. Link. Hit the link. Hit the link if you're there. No, she's talking about we going live early. Well, again, I wanted to go with her schedule since she wasn't gonna come up and she was dealing with issues anyway. And we won't talk about it on here, but I'm sure she's gonna call me about it in the morning. So That's the reason why I didn't go live this morning, because I wanted her to deal with some. Because I have to tell you, I don't wish this upon anyone, but recovery is hard. Let's just say that. But by the grace of God, she's still here. Oh boy. Yes, yes, can I help you? Yes, can I help you? See? You see, it's it's the device she's using. It's somehow it's not working. It's not me, it's her. It's her device. Okay, no problem. Things happen. Things happen, no problem. Yeah, yeah, Lisa, it's your device. It's your device, dear. Unmute. See if you can unmute. See if because I turned your mic up. Oh wait, you keep muting yourself. Okay. Say something. See? I win again. She's came for me. She's came. She got crushed. Crushed. Holy crap, Lisa. She ain't no match for me. And I'm only 45 years old. She ain't no match. Lisa, you there? She ain't no match for me. We're in the debate. Again, just ignore that. I'll get a battery for that a little later on. Just ignore it. But Lisa, I mean, why don't you come up, Barb? Come up, come on, come on. Y'all want to double team me? Come on. Y'all have a prayer. Girl, please. I can't expect this. You know I can hear you. Uh, Go up for me. She's not coming. She's not coming up there. If I had Cash App, I was about to send you $2 for that battery. Was that supposed to be some type of comeback? You chime, give me if you had chime, give me $100. Actually, how it goes is I think you get $100 and I get $100. However it goes. I think. I'm not sure. But since Lisa can't get her mic straight, I'm gonna go ahead and dilly skedaddle on our chair. I'm gonna lily dilly skedaddle. I don't have any of that like that. What do you mean? Oh, you talking about the whole chime thing? Well, I think it's basically simple. Uh, I put your well, I don't have your phone number, so it won't work. Let's just make a better time for everyone. I tried. I literally tried, but like I said, I don't. But with this one, let's say for tomorrow. With this one again, I don't know when not Lisa, but Jasmine's going live. I don't know. It's like I said, when she streams, I'm gonna be streaming, and you're just gonna have to look for me. Hopefully, the notifications are up. Hopefully, you tapped in the notifications whenever I'm going live and whatever. I can't be falling asleep on the phone. We'll talk We'll talk earlier when I'm awake. Well, okay. You have my I'm gonna put my email address. I'm gonna put my email address in here. So I'll let you know because Lisa has my email address. There. I put my email address in there. So there'll be no excuses. No excuses. No exceptions. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. You think you're big and bad and bold. Not if you got other subscribers. Lisa, just concede and say that I won. Just concede. No, but you that's for Barb, not for you. You have my email address already. Like I said, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. One. She tapped out. She tapped out. She tapped out. Like, you won by default only. Well, I'll take my little happy ass on and get my tacos. This is my cigar. Now, you see your asses later. Jasmine Crockett for U.S. Senate.